Hello, this is Sharif from Petra Gems, and today we will cover a very important topic, which is how do you pick the right diamond and how do you compromise on um, one of the four C's, right? That's one of the biggest questions for people is which one do I compromise on and what is the best option for me within my budget? This is a very um, common question when you start shopping for a diamond. And because there's so much technical details that are involved in picking a diamond, it's usually a good idea to have a sense of what you should look for. So, over the course of the last decade, what I have seen as four scenarios are the following, and I'm going to explain one by one what those scenarios are and which one might be the best for you while shopping for a diamond. So, the first scenario I think is the scenario what a lot of people consider as investment grade diamonds, which is in the industry what they refer to as the highest possible quality within a given range. So, let's say you have a budget for a 1 carat diamond. So an investment grade diamond would be um, in in the range of a 1 carat D, which is the highest, flawless, which is, and then colorless diamond, right? An excellent cut, ideal cut, depending on ideal cut, and obviously GIA graded, and then with no fluorescence. That would be your range for, depending on your budget. Um, it could be 2 carat, 3 carat, but you get the idea that it has to be the highest quality in that grade. That's what the highest possible, right? So the higher the better, flawless, internally flawless, or in the VVS 1 and 2 range. So that's what they consider investment grade diamonds. Now, in the number two is what I consider um, investment grade, and by that I mean is high quality, but also high circulation. So by high circulation, what I mean is that how much of a demand there is in the market for that stone, how many people. So obviously everybody cannot spend 50,000, 100K, right? So what is the average budget, which I would say is between 5 to 10,000. So in that range of 15,000. So what are the stones in that range that are high quality and also can be easily, and I think as a dealer, right, can be easily traded or sold because there is high demand for it. So here is an example of a stone that I consider as high circulation and high demand, and that's here. Um, Here's the stone. So this is what I consider. For example, this would be one example of a stone that I would uh, consider these two right here. So this is the range. Let's say a 1.5 carat G color, which is a great color. I love G color. VS2 clarity or VS1 clarity, and an excellent cut. And when it comes to G, I go for no fluorescence. H, I like medium or faint fluorescence because it helps. It makes it look more like makes it look whiter. Fluorescence helps in H and above color. So this is another example of a high quality and high circulation stone that we can consider now. So, again, by high quality, I mean well cut stone, and also a stone. I'm paying here very good attention to the clarity characteristics. See, this stone does not have bed inclusions like big crystals that are in the center. So, and I'll come to this again in another example to discuss this. So this is what I would consider a second scenario where it's high circulation but high quality, and you're basically maximizing also your budget, and you're also looking for a good size and not overly compromising on that as well. So this is what I consider the second, which I think this is my favorite option, which is high quality and high circulation and also decent size. So this is where I personally, if I were to shop, this is where I would shop. That's the second scenario. Now let's go to the third scenario. The third scenario, I think, is that a lot of people do this too, and I think this is also a very good scenario where people take a balanced approach, but they want to go for the largest possible option within their budget. And so let me give you two or three examples of this, which I've seen quite a bit over the last few years. And here are a few examples of what you should do if you're in this range and what you shouldn't do, right? So people would have about 12, 13,000, $14,000, and they would say they want a 2 carat, they want an eye clean stone, and they don't mind Si1 as long as it's eye clean, right? And they want H, which is a great color, or I even is a great color. These are near colorless. So in the GIA report, you can easily see here the scale. So up to J. J is a little tintish, but I is still near colorless, and H is a great budget color right here, right? And so they would say they would want to go with H, medium, and fluorescence, well cut stone, and they don't mind something that's Si1, Si2, as long as it's eye clean. So when you're doing something like this, what I would say is be look at this clarity characteristics, right, and make sure you're buying a Si1 or Si2 stone that does not have any inclusion in the table like here you see, because if it does, and if they're crystal, black crystal, this is what's going to happen, and more than likely this stone is not going to be an eye clean stone, right? And here is a better example. This is again a bad example. I wanted to show it to you. See, again, this is Si1 color larger to see black crystals, and so this would not be considered eye clean. Here is one that is again the same thing. See, Si1 H color 2 carat, but look at that, how beautiful it is. It's completely clean, because look here again, you can tell this from the report, the GIA clarity characteristics. It does not have any major inclusions in the center, and plus the big plus is that it's feather, small clouds, little and natural. There is no even a single crystal in the stone, so which is incredible, right? So this would be, if you're shopping for the largest possible in the lowest clarity grade range of eye clean stones, then you have to spend a lot of time understanding the clarity characteristics, and what kind of inclusions to go for and what kind of inclusions to avoid. So that's the third scenario: largest possible, still eye clean, not too much compromise on color, and then also well cut stone in the very good to excellent range. And if you're going for a very good, just make sure you pay attention to the depth, because some very good stones could be too deep cut, so the depth would be 64, 65, and the stone then would look much smaller. So pay attention to here the overall measurements and the depth if you're going for a very good, and make sure you're still getting um, a large stone like that one that would actually look like a 2 carat stone, and not one that's cut too shallow. And then last but not least is the option, which is they want the largest possible in a tight and low budget. In this scenario, what I would say is that you don't have any choice but to compromise on one of the C's, one of the four C's. And I would recommend that you compromise on what I would consider color, because um, if you compromise on color, you still have a chance to get a decent stone. Say you can go as high as M or N color, and then get a 2 carat stone, right? And so that could be your option. It's just because if you compromise on clarity, it will look like a bad stone that's full of inclusions and very cloudy. So get a strong blue fluorescence but large stone. So these are some of the scenarios that we discussed, and I hope you're within one of these scenarios, and I hope this video will help you make the choice that you want to make. Again, my favorite is the number 2.